Very good afternoon to one and all. Very good afternoon to one and all. Okay, so we are discussing about the patient care monitoring systems. So in the previous lecture, we were seeing the different types of display systems. So by using the CRT, how we can record the number of signals. So how we can obtain the output waveform using the CRT. So the three types of display systems are studied. So that is conventional display, bouncing ball display, and non-fade display. So like this, we can by using these three types of display systems, we can observe the condition of the patient. So we can analyze the different output potentials of the different organs of the body. So maybe from heart, maybe lungs, maybe from brain. Okay, so like that, different waveform signals, the potentials, the biopotentials will be measured by using measured or observed, or we can analyze those signals. So by using these display systems, and these display systems will display the actual generated potentials. Okay. So, and today's lecture we will see the diagnostics. So today we will see so diagnosis, calibration. So today we will see diagnosis, calibration, and repairability of patient monitoring equipment. So in the while we are using the different equipments or systems in the measuring of the different uh, uh, patient uh, patient monitoring. So by running process, these equipments are required to diagnosis, and it is required sometimes to be calibrate. So calibration is the process. So we can compare the actual generated output signal from system with the known standard values, the known standard sources. Okay, so like that we can calibrate the actual, we can calibrate the generated output signals. Suppose if you want to uh, produce the ECG waveform on the recorder, so first of all we have to check whether this recording system or the ECG machine is functioning properly or not. So now you are getting my voice.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So like that, before measuring the actual signals from the patient, we have to first calibrate the our instrument. So whether it is producing proper output or not. So like that in meters also, in the analog meters. So before connecting the uh, actually in the uh, real-time application, first of all we have to calibrate that system or that meter is producing the proper uh, value or not. So like that, every instrument or equipment for a patient monitoring system, so we'll have ability to produce the standard signals, and using that standard signals, that machine or equipment will be calibrated. So the general source for the calibration is the 1 millivolt calibration voltage source. So for the diagnosis purposes, most of the cases we can use the 1 millivolt 1 millivolt voltage source. So we using that voltage source, we can first of all we can obtain the waveform for the 1 millivolt. Okay, so once we have satisfied with that production of the 1 volt output, so after that we can go for the real measuring of the signals. Real measuring of the signals. Okay, so like that we have calibration and diagnosis. So diagnosis means, so if suppose uh, in the computer systems, so we have to analyze uh, all the parts of the system will be functioning properly or not. So for that we have to diagnose, like that all the equipment are properly functioning its functionality or not. So it is producing proper output or not. So that is the diagnosis. And repairability. So if there is any part of the or any particular PCB board or some part will be failed due to some unwanted sudden voltages, or due to some number of times we can operate it. So some part of the equipment uh, may be failure. So sudden high voltages may become. So in such situation, some part of the that equipment will be failure. So in such situation, we can replace the same PCB. Suppose in the LED TVs, if there is any sudden um, sudden um, sudden lightning connects are occurred, so then the some part of PCBs will be gone. So then what happens? Those people will just replace that particular PCB only. They don't replace the actual gone part. The part which is gone, that part they don't change. So entire PCB board should be replaced. So some part of the PCB will be replaced. So or we can provide some extra devices to does not occur such activities. Does not occur such things. Okay. So like that we can repair. Suppose any power supply problems will be there. Okay, suppose when we are switch on, the system is the equipment is not switch on. Okay, or sometimes maybe get the shocked due to improper earthing problems. So due to earthing problems, some hospitals they don't give proper earthing, and due to that, if there is a maybe shocks will become. Okay, so ground problem will be there, grounding problem. So like this, we can easily repair. Okay, so in such situation, so these are different types of three types of diagnosis, calibration, and repairability. So diagnosis, calibration, and repairability. These are the three main important concepts. So, so to do all these things, so there is for a large hospitals there is a separate section. So in the electrical department, so they will have some electrical department, and there are some engineers and technicians. They will combinedly solve all these problems. Okay. Um, okay. So for that. Uh, So like this, we have some separate department. So maintenance department will be there, maintenance. So those maintenance engineers and technicians will look after all these diagnosis and calibration and repair will be for regular checkups. So for every 3 months, one time they will have a one regular checkup uh, uh, schedule. So according to that, so they will have to diagnose and calibrate the equipment. Okay, like that they will perform the duties. So, so here, so for perform that particular. So are you getting now?
Yeah, sir.
So you are getting clarity or some disturbance?
పర్లేదు సార్ బాగానే ఉంది.
Parlada? Thank you. So for doing this maintenance of the different equipments, so they should follow some manuals. So for every equipment, we should perform a how we can maintain, how we can calibrate the equipments. So for that, they have to provide some manuals for each equipment and system. So the manufactured unit or manufacturing company will provide a manual how to operate the machine and how to maintain. So what are the different requirements of that particular medical instruments? So that should be provided. So if and in what conditions it should be operated, and that all should be provided. Okay. So here there are three types of uh, three uh, uh, three types of systems conditions we have to understand. So the environmental conditions of the instrumentation would generally be good. Okay. However, temperature, dust, humidity should be in tolerance limit. Okay. Uh, so generally we can use those equipments in a good environmental condition. So like most of the these uh, patient monitoring equipments are placed in air conditioned, so AC rooms. So most of the equipments does not have any temperature effects. Okay, so they can operate with the um, proper maintenance only. Okay, in some cases maybe dust and humidity. These are also affects the operation of that particular or performance that particular equipment. Okay, and those should be having in a tolerance limit. Okay, so if that tolerance limit was exceeded, or suppose the maintenance temperature of the room is exceeded certain temperature, that equipment will not be operated properly. So it leads to incorrect results. So that's why there is certain limits will be there. Okay, up to that limit the equipment will be operated properly. Okay, and no heavy machinery should be around like presses, compressors and such other machines which generate and transmit vibrations. Suppose while we are using an equipment, so if you see the compressor, so compressor will produce a vibration. Okay, so sound noise, and these sound noise and vibrations will also affect the performance of the machines. And like that uh, we should not provide those heavy machines near to our operating equipments. So they should provide some far away distance. Okay, and from there we can use the uh, connect the pipelines for supply of the air. Okay, so and next one is it should not be connected to the same electrical line which supplies power to machines drawing heavy intermittent currents. Okay, so and one more thing, suppose we are using a signals, so these ECG signals. Okay, and for operating of the heavy machines it requires three-phase power supply, whereas in our house it is a single phase power supply. So for operating the compressors and heavy machineries to generate the more amount of more heavy machine operating, it requires three-phase power supply. That three-phase power supply will also interfere the actual signals. So if we connected this heavy machines near to our operating equipment, so that leads to the power supply which is connected to heavy machinery. The current which is flowing through that supply to the heavy machinery will also interrupts the working of the or operation of the uh, uh, operation theater. Okay, so that's why most of the heavy machines and the heavy compressors are placed some far away to the this intensive care unit. Okay, so for so like that we can arrange the different types of systems from the far away from the our equipment, measuring equipment. Suppose we are measuring the ECG waveform. So this for the purpose of generation of oxygen or something, heavy machinery will be installed in near to this one. Due to the electrical power supply or some vibrations, the operation of this machine will be interrupted. So that's why these machines will be placed far away. Okay, and different equipments, electrical equipments that are required for the installation and maintenance. So what are those equipments required means? So multimeter, maintenance and installation, these are required. Multimeter, oscilloscope, temperature control soldering equipments, uh, extender cords and spares. So in some cases we can extend the cords. So like that in our cell phones cell phones or laptop we can extend the memory size. So size of the RAM can be extended from um, like that we can extension cords will be there. Like that here also we can have some extender cords and spares. And also we can use the multimeter. So multimeter, I know you may know that the functionality of multimeter, it will use it to measure the voltage, current, and resistance, and oscilloscope. So this oscilloscope will be used to analyze the frequency, voltage of the different signals, DC signals. Okay, and temperature control soldering equipments. So here the soldering equipments also to be controlled. Okay, so so these are some of the, and also we have the digital multimeter and ammeter. Digital multimeter and ammeter. So these are also used. So multimeter is used to all the three parameters. Ammeter, uh, current to measure current, voltage, and resistance. So it may be an analog or digital, and logic probes. Okay, so these logic probes will be also used. Okay, so like that in olden days we these are to be like a using very big size equipment should be there. So nowadays by the advancements of the electronic hardware, so the size of these systems are becoming very small size. So uh, due to the PCB board size was reduced. Okay, so with that we can reliable on these particular instruments. And the next one is real-time diagnosis of the system. Real-time diagnosis of the system usage. So during system usage. So while running the system, so we can also diagnose the system. So here in the computer, some the programming. So we have a program. So that program will diagnose the different sections of the system. Okay, so here the system is nothing but the computers. Okay, CPU diagnostics. So what is the uh, uh, operation of the CPU? So that is performed by diagnostics. So um, you may come to experience that while we are operating a system or computer, so we can diagnose the um, what is the uh, condition of the different equipment, the different parts of the computer. So suppose while we are Zoom meeting, before that, so it will check whether the speakers are able to working condition or not. So like that we can diagnose. So for that we have to require some software program. So by using that software program, we can diagnose each part of the computer. So here this is the CPU diagnostics, memory diagnostics, okay, CRT diagnostics, whether the CRT is producing the proper functionality or not. So similar DTA and DTT converters diagnostics and IO diagnostics. So input output ports will be there, and its diagnostics. Okay, so we can also diagnosis of this computers will be performed by using the remotely. So that is by using phone data also we can diagnose this one. Okay. So while we can diagnose that system static and dynamically. It means if the patient is monitoring, uh, while monitoring also we can diagnose the system. So without monitoring or without connecting the signals to the patient, we can also analyze the diagnosis of the particular system. Okay. So here it performs both static and dynamic tests. So dynamic tests means while measuring the signals from the patient. So uh, static means we are not measuring. So just we are uh, taking as just input. Okay. So that those variables are not changing with respect to time. Suppose we are just measuring the ECG waveform from a patient. So while performing this, collecting the data from the patient, so then also you can analyze the or diagnose the system. Okay. So like this we have dynamic and static tests. So by doing this, what we will get, what we have to obtain. So if by doing this, if any system is not working properly, so we can maintain that one. So the main purpose of all this discussion or diagnosis is nothing but if it is not conditioned well, so we have to make that particular part of system will be working properly. So we have to make, otherwise we can run the program again. Suppose the CPU is not operating up to that mark or speed. Okay, so we have to install some other programming. We can install some other Windows 7 like that in our laptop. What we will do? So like that we, otherwise we can run again once again or install the same program for the next time. Okay, like that it will make the system will be ready to operate for a given conditions. And the next one is vibration and oxidation. So vibration and oxidation. So these are also very important. So in the vibration means, so the equipments or the intercurrent equipments will be having some certain friction connections. Okay, this can be moved from areas of low resistance to oxidized high resistance. Okay, in some cases the due to some vibration, excessive vibration also, there is some frictional effects will be there. Okay, so due to this, see here friction connections, circuit board socket or plug socket, okay, can move from areas of low resistance, good connections to low resistance, that is a good connection, to oxidized high resistance, bad connections. And those particular connecting sockets may be oxidized. Okay, then when we insert the sockets, so they may be uh, detect detect well, detect well. Okay, they may not be detect well. Okay, so like that we can maintain those parts of the uh, uh, connecting wires like that. Okay, so circuit boards can gradually vibrate out of their sockets. Suppose we are placing we are using a patient monitor care unit. Okay, ICU care unit is there. In that one particular equipment is placed near a vibrating machine. So suppose we are placed near a compressor. The compressor continuously vibrates. Okay, so by that vibrations, the circuit boards will be also vibrate, or the components which are in the equipment will be also vibrates. And slowly those due to that vibration, those components will come outside from the sockets. So it will be also happens vibrate by the vibration, continuous vibrations. So those also rotates, and those equipments or the PCB boards may be come outside from its place. Okay, so such situations also occurs. Okay, and lead connections may be shared. So in some cases, the connected leads will be uh, disconnected due to this vibration. So this will also happens. Okay. So for this, what we have to do means, so we can place a vibration absorbing mounting pads under the system control panel, or to use a rubber center vibration asserting bolt mounts. So we can use these remedies. Uh, so these are the problems will occur due to vibrations, and these problems can be avoided by using this vibration absorbing mounting pads will be there, and also we can use the rubber center vibration isolating bolt mounts. So by fixing these PCBs with the system, with the body of the equipment, so we can place in between a rubber will be there. So by placing that rubber, we can so by placing the rubber in between that particular uh, uh, in particular that one, so the vibrations will be reduced. Okay, so like that some arrangements will be prepared. So vibration absorbing mounting pads. So and second one is oxidized friction contacts may result from simple aging as well as vibration induced movements. So a contact cleaner or a deoxidant treatment helps. So in some cases, so due to it is uh, in the air, I mean in the air environment. So due to the oxidation, so some parts of the PCB boards, you may observe that in electronic shops or something. So when they are removed that PCBs, they will wash with some liquids and some brushes. So due to that, what happens? Why they are doing that means, so some oxidation process will be occurs. So we will remove that one. So by that, so due to that oxidation process, what happens? So there is a formation of the conducting path will be there. It will be formed. So if we remove that one, so that PCB or some equipment will be works properly. So that is a contact cleaner, and deoxidation treatment helps to avoid such oxidation friction contacts. Some unwanted contacts will be also forms, and those will be removed by contact cleaner or deoxidant cleaners will be there. So in some cases they will be. You can observe that in AC maintenance, they will use different types of um, mm, uh, foams, and like that we can also have some oxidation cleaning equipment, cleaning liquids will be there, and by using that we can clean the oxidation which is occurred on the PCBs. Okay, then it will be works properly. And the next one is so we can do that cleaning pins. We can clean that cleaning pins, but it should not be should not be remove that conducting parts. So we don't do very roughly. We will do it as a smooth condition, smooth way. So by that we can has that conduction layer or conduction paths should be has in that particular place only. So if you make it as a rubbing like anything, so very strongly, so it will be that conducting layer will be lost. Okay, like that that particular uh, care should be taken. Okay, so erasers should not be used to clean connector pins because they are likely to abrade away the thin silver or gold plating, thus ruining the conducting surface. So that conducting surface may be loses, or maybe it will be left. And the next one is power supply conditioning. So it is also very important while maintaining and diagnosing, maintaining the and repairing of the patient monitoring equipment. So power supply conditioning. So the most effective action to ensure instrument system reliability is to protect them with the new generation solid state transient suppressors. So the last, I mean, in this lecture only, we told that so due to some high amount of currents will be flow through a particular signals. It means so heavy currents will be when the heavy currents will be interfere with this low or small DC signals. There are some disturbances will be occurred. Okay, some interference. So that what we call it as interference. So interference also occurs. So we can also observe that when when a when there are two wires will be there side by side parallelly, two wires will be there. So when a heavy current is flowing to one wire and side we have another wire, through this there is no current will be there. Listen my point. So there are two wires are there. So through one wire we have sending a heavy current, maybe 10 amperes of current. So beside of this we have another cable or another wire. So through this there is no current. So there is no current. But due to heavy current is flowing through the first wire, so due to some magnetic field, this magnetic field will cut the second wire beside of this the first one, and due to that the induced EMF, due to that induced EMF through this wire also current flows. So due to that the second wire may be connected to some other machinery. So here we are using some machinery without that machinery is switch on without operator switch on. So that machinery is connected and it is running. So like that, so the wires should be separated. The heavy current flowing wires should be flow in one level or one side, and the small signal currents maybe 230 volts signal lines may be flow in separate lines, and DC voltage lines. Suppose we are using a sensor in the industry or some of this medical equipment. So the generated signals should be sent to some other room, and these two signals, the heavy current lines and this generated signal lines should not be sent to the same line. So they send separately. So they don't mix these two wires. So because these heavy current flowing cables will also induces the currents in the these low flowing currents. Okay, that cable will be there. So that's why you can send separate lines. You cannot mix the both the high level signals and low level signals should not um, combine. So separate cables should be there and they should be isolated from each other. So like that also. So you can also observe that so some interference signals will be there. Suppose while going uh, some radio frequency signals may be going through that. So at that moment we can get some obstruction in the radios or TVs. So in the olden days, you can observe that if any high frequency devices are moving, so due to that also some interference will be occurs in the actual radio signals. Okay, so like that, some unwanted signals may be interferes the actual operating signals. That may be called as a interference. So that interference may be called as electromagnetic interference, electromagnetic interference. EMI, electromagnetic interference. So that interference will be affects the actual operation of the equipment. So like that, when suppose we are operating in any industry or some other electronic operated devices or something, so we should not combine. Okay, so that's why uh, and while in operating those different AC operated devices. So suppose here we have a fluorescent lights, solenoids, and the SCRs. So heavy power power control devices, power electron devices, and switching circuits. So while these are operated, we can switch on and switch off. Okay. So in such situation, what happens? Those will form as the spikes, and those uh, spikes will be transferred to the power. So and the PCBs which are connected to the power supply only. So if there is any vibrations, I mean spikes will be generated by the number of operations of these AC operated devices like solenoids and SCRs, silicon control rectifiers. So for the power controlling purposes, heavy power currents will be controlled by the SCRs, silicon control rectifiers, and switching circuits, contactors will be there, and those contactors will be operated. So when these contactors will be operated, produces sudden opening and closing, and due to that it will produce some spikes, and all these spikes will be coming through the power supply. If we are operating this PCBs through this power supply, so it may be interfere with the actual signals, and due to that these spikes also forms as a digital form, and this digital signal will be interfere with the actual digital signals, and due to that there is interference and misreading of the signal. Okay, that is possible. So to avoid such situations, so there are some filters will be uses. So inductive capacitive filters, resistive capacitive filters, metal oxide varistor, and isolation transformer. So generally we can use the filters will be uses. Okay, and these filters we can say it is jammers, so jammers, and those are also will be avoided to avoid the signals.